gotta be strong in this time, son. I'm a survivor. I will survive. I will survive. And I'm a firm believer. We'll forever shine just to stay alive. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me apart. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can hold me stick. I will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold me apart. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can. Nobody can. Everybody show me some strength. No weakness. Show me a lion now. Strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Strength. No weakness. Show me a lion now. Everybody strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Not when you're old. Your enemies, they must tremble. Your enemies, they must tremble. Yo, not when you're old. Everything has to humble. Everything has to humble. I'm a go-getter. I just go hard. I just go hard. And I'm a kind of fellow. Put my trust in God. Put my trust in God. That simple means say nobody can hold me apart. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can hold me.
Are you thinking of a Grenadian Christmas but unable to travel? Well, we've got the next best thing to being home for Christmas with the My Grenada box, specially packaged with lots of Grenadian goodies to help remind you of the taste of home. Having a My Grenada box is easy as 1, 2, 3. Visit our website at mygrenadabox.com. Click to make your purchase and voila! In just a few days, it's at your doorstep. My Grenada Box, a taste of Grenadian goodness.
I spend my life away, but this is where I wanna be. My little piece of the ocean is all I need. If it was up to me, I'll never leave.
I will survive. I will
Hey, welcome to the ride, welcome to the ride. Welcome to Monday on the ride. As you're coming, go ahead and shove the thing. As you're coming, go ahead and shove the thing. Let me see who's inside first. Let me see first. Hey, Edward, how you doing? Big up yourself. Welcome, good night to you. Hey, Patrice. Patrice is a runner-up. Mavis, first runner-up. Welcome to Ride Along for today. It's Monday on the ride. Yeah, guys, we have a very interesting program lined up for you. So as you come in, I want you to share the program. Put it on your page and say, I share. Let me do the same thing as well. Put it on your page and say, I share. Yeah, I share. That's the key word. Yeah. Let me, you guys know this. I don't know if you guys know about this, right? It's been around for a long time, so you should know. It's called the watch party. All right? I want you guys to start a watch party right now. You just click start a watch party. And you're in. Starting a watch party. Invite all your friends and them to come in and join. Good evening to you. Yes. Jackie Chaitan, how you doing? Big up yourself. Maxi Raymond, big up yourself. Yvonne, Aman, thank you so much. Yeah. Listen. Before we go any further, guys, I want to take a little minute or so, a little while, to just a moment of silence to the over 2,000 people that died today from COVID-19. Sad. I want to take just a little moment of silence and some love for the families of these people. Now, we see it as just numbers, We see it as just numbers on the screen. It's actually families. Trust me. I've been to a lot of the funerals. People are dying by the thousands. Think about it like this. 2,000 people dying, right? Is like having about 5 or 6 jumbo jet dropping from the sky every day. Just imagine, just put that into perspective now. Just imagine if we had 6 jumbo jet, full capacity, falling from the sky every day. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. About 2,000 people dying. So they're not just numbers. And if that happened, if 5 or 6 jumbo jet fall out of the sky every day, think about how alarming that it would be. Think about how shocking that it would be. But it reached to a point right now that people are not even shocked anymore. People are not any alarmed anymore. Just, oh, 2,000 people dead, 3,000 people dead. Nah, these are real people. These are real family. They're going through real pain. I want everybody to press that love button right now to the families that lost their loved one today. And there are numbers that's going to be tabulated tomorrow. I'm sure another 1,000 or so will die tomorrow. Every day, we have in excess of about 200,000 to 300,000 people being affected by this COVID-19. Hospitals are filling up. There's nowhere to put people. Even the morgues are turning back people. Remember, this is not like some only old, not even if. We have young people, we have elderly people, we have even kids. So don't think for one moment that it's only older people that's dying, people in homes. I've been to a lot of the funerals. So I want to take this time, guys. It is very sad. I want to take this time. I want you guys to press this love button right there. Just press the love button. Just keep pressing the love button. Because I want to let the people, the families know that we remember them. And they're not just numbers. 1 million cases in 5 days. It is that sad. Going to be 15,000 people affected probably by the end of the day tomorrow. We have to be very careful. We have to continue to be safe, take care of our families, take care of ourselves. Don't care what people say. This thing is real, and people are genuinely dying here in the United States. All right. I just really wanted to put that out there because it's important. It's serious. It's very, very serious. It's very, very serious. All right. With that being said, I just want to reach out to a good friend of mine. Doug, how you doing? Big up yourself, Doug. I want to reach out to a good friend of mine and wish her all the best. She was just diagnosed with COVID-19 2 days ago. And she's a viewer here on Ridealong. She's a family. And she is in good spirit at the moment. She's feeling well. And we hope that it continue that way. All right? All right, guys. Good. Good. Thank you, guys. Thank you for sharing that love. 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 I appreciate you. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
This time, son.
Candy, thank you so much. Candy say, I don't care what Candy say, I don't care what you have to say. I just want to hear Tobias. I don't care what you have to say. I just want to hear Tobias. Yeah, guys. So I don't know if you guys got a chance to pay attention to the the budget debate. A lot of people don't watch the whole thing because it's lengthy. A lot of numbers, a lot of mathematics. A lot of people don't pay attention to it, but it's very important to learn about the allocation, the budgetary allocation. All right, what the government intend to spend for different things, and it shapes, you know, like agriculture. You know, how much energy, how much financial input is put into agriculture, how much financial input is put into tourism and other sectors. Now, this budget allocation is for a sum of $1.23 billion. $1.23 billion. All right. So that was presented by the Minister of Foreign Affairs on Wednesday. right? Now, Mr. Tobias Clement, who we all know as the opposition leader, he got an opportunity. Well, he was supposed to present the budget as the opposition leader. He was supposed to present debate, a contrast on last week. Didn't show up in Parliament on Friday. And there was a debacle between why he didn't show up and the time allocated to him to present. Today, Mr. Tobias Clement went into Parliament and he made an obstacle. He created a fury of conversation. He definitely sparked a lot of conversation after what was done today. Let me show you guys what happened today, Mr. Tobias Clement in Parliament. Check this out before we start the interview, so you guys are going to get a context as to how we got here. This is Tobias Clement today in Parliament.
And deliver what I have to deliver to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And I believe, Mr. Speaker, in order to get me out, before my time is up, you would have to nuke this place. Mr. Speaker, I am going to do something here today. And to be clear, I don't like drama, but I mean, when the drama comes, I don't start war, Mr. Speaker. We never stop war. But when war comes, we'll finish it. And I will finish what I started today, Mr. Speaker. When I leave this house, one thing I know, and we all will have to leave, but I will leave with my self-respect. And the whole of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique is watching. And you know who's watching too, Mr. Speaker? The entire world is watching. Mr. Speaker, I know you were prepared today, but I am also prepared. This might be the most famous piece of change in Grenada today. And to put me out of this house, Mr. Speaker, let the whole world see that even in chains, I will deliver what I have to deliver today. And I don't have the keys, Mr. Speaker. You will have to send for the keys. So if you have to get me out of here today, I don't know. I do not even know if the orderlies can take me out today. So, Mr. Speaker, while they were planning...
Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Yes, sir. Merci.
Oh, Lord have his mercy. So Tobias Clement, opposition leader Tobias Clement, chained himself to the desk, right? As you saw it right there, because he claimed that they didn't want, or he didn't believe that they would have given the necessary allocated time to present. He's going to explain that further. More on that. We talk a whole lot about that. So here's what the Speaker of the House said immediately after Tobias Clement did his due. Check this out.
I understand a lot of drama and grandstanding. I used to do this myself. I don't know why you came so prepared.
Well, I must...
You see, you were given the opportunity to do that is your privilege as the leader of the opposition. You complained that you had 2 days to do your preparation, which is not true. You had the same time as every other parliamentarian had, receiving the documents on the 25th of November, posted from the Parliament at 9:40 a.m. So I don't understand the drama and the chain. This Parliament is not a slave pen. The Parliament is a place of freedom. And you stand to speak, you stand to debate the budget, and I think the world, as you said, is watching. But the world don't want to see a comedian or something like that in the parliament of this country. The parliament is bigger than that. So if you wish to chain yourself to the parliament table so that the world can see what the leader of the opposition demeanor is, proceed.
Right. So that was Michael Peer. Before we bring in the exclusive interview with Tobias Clement, I got a friend. I got a friend here that we can chat a little bit with. John Crow.
Yo, that's it's called job in parliament. Job. You know, job always had a chair.
Job in parliament.
Job. It's sad, eh? Let me tell you something, Junior. You just quoted the number of people dying because of COVID, and the number of people who are contracting the virus worldwide. Yeah. And when you look at, I mean, I'm not even working on numbers and how much money was put to allocated in here, there, or wherever. But this is how serious and Tobias is a product of our system, right? Tobias is not a standalone problem, okay? Because when you listen to our elected officials speak, whenever they have the opportunity to speak publicly, Tobias is a product of that environment. And they do not take that position or that job seriously.
Mm-hmm.
For if they did, there are other members of parliament who would have said, or whatever motion that had to be made to say to him, shut up and sit the fuck down. I mean, they can't use that language in parliament. I don't think they could say that.
We probably can't use it on Ridealong either. We might get sanctioned.
Okay, we don't want to. Okay, all right. So we won't get sanctioned. But what I'm saying is that if this guy is serious about, quote unquote, defending and representing Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique in a serious tone, in a serious way, why would you come to parliament? What it says to me is that he was not prepared. Like Pierre said to him that he got the documents from the 25th of November. He was not there on Friday when the numbers were presented, and today is Monday, and he was not prepared. So rather than say, well, Mr. Speaker, or whoever that Mr. Speaker person, whatever that formality is, you know, rather than come clean and say, listen, I needed a little bit more time to prepare myself. I ran into some difficulties, whatever the stupid lie or excuses would be, but at least come out saying something that makes sense. But coming in there with a chain and chaining yourself, and I mean chaining yourself to the desk at a point where nobody's saying to you that you can't do what you're there to do.
Right.
You know,
but let me ask you a question, John Crow, because we have an exclusive interview that we're gonna play it in a quick second. Do you think that it was important that Tobias Clement make a strong, solid point? And the strong, solid point is to get attention to what he's saying, because after you see the interview, you would have a better idea and a little bit more appreciation as to why he did that. Because to understand it, which I didn't understand it until I spoke with him, and you guys are going to see it shortly, what led up to him chaining himself inside of Parliament. So looking at it at face value, it does look like a Mickey Mouse show. It does look like a dramatic expression. It looked like what's his name again? Francis Urias Peters on stage in the National Stadium. It does, seriously. But we need to understand. We need to pull back a little bit and understand why he did what he did. And that is what I want to play so everybody understand each one of you.
Junior, I don't know if you know this about me, but my background is the theater, right? My background is ensemble ensemble performances. Okay, I go back to the days of Alafia. I go back to the days of Hadzalau from St. George's, and combine with Birch Grove Dance Company and Concord Dancers, and a couple others, where we went to Guyana in 1972 representing Grenada. The first attempt of a dramatic, if you will, ensemble coming out of Grenada to perform on an international stage. Carifesta was that international stage. So I'm very familiar with drama. I'm very familiar with making a point. And yes, you could explain anything to anybody after the fact.
Right.
I'm tuning into Parliament, right? And I'm seeing a man. I'm seeing a man with a chain in his hand, or whatever threat that he made or statements that he made. I'm not, whatever he's saying to explain himself after the fact, it comes up. I mean, now I have to go back and say, oh, that is what he was. Oh no, there's a right way and a wrong way of doing anything.
Right. Well, I wanna play this interview, guys, about 10 minutes ago, because the opposition leader, he wanted to come on live with us, but we just recorded the interview 10 minutes ago, because right now he's back in Parliament as the Prime Minister present. They're going to go all through the night for a while. So we did this interview 10 minutes ago, very fresh, right? I want to take a look at some of his reaction as to why he reacted this way. This is the interview. We're going to stop it at intervals and talk about it, but this is the interview that we had with the opposition leader, Tobias Clement. Guys, take a look. And everything that transpired in Parliament today, we have opposition leader, Mr. Tobias Clement. Mr. Clement, welcome to the Ride Along. So how are you doing today?
Thank you very much. I hope that you and our brothers and sisters in New York and around the world are keeping safe. My prayers continue to go up, so that all of you guys will keep safe and that we will come out on the opposite end and have a brighter day. And we will be able to see one another again. So I know when all this is over, New York will come to Grenada, or Grenada will come to New York, but we will meet somewhere.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but
I just don't want us to meet in heaven right now, but we'll meet somewhere else.
You know, technology has done a lot within this past time. We were able to connect in those type of things, you know, Zoom and these platforms. But that's true. It's still good because we have this opportunity to meet and conversate. And we have an opportunity to connect, because we here in New York pay very much attention to what's happening in Grenada on a daily basis, especially in terms of the budget. They recently announced a budget of expenditures for 2021. And we saw a display today, and we couldn't quite get the whole picture, because for some reason, at some point in time, we had some problems with the internet. So let me ask you a question, sir. From what we saw, you started off chaining yourself to the table. Why did you find that was a necessary action to take, sir?
Well, because we in order to get what transpired today, we have to go back Wednesday. Or we could even go back a little further. Now, in the Finance Committee meeting, that the preamble to the budget, the meeting that we had, I noticed that they had the budget to be presented on the 2nd and continuing on the 3rd and the 4th. And I asked the Minister of Finance the question. I said, we cannot have budget on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. In the past, since 1974 to 2012, when there was a leader of the opposition, the leader of the opposition was always given 2 days to prepare. 2 days to prepare. This is the first time that budget was ever presented on a Wednesday. In the past, it was always presented on a Friday, and the leader of Her Majesty's opposition will come on a Monday and rebut the budget. So I asked that the same courtesies be given to me as to all leaders of the opposition in the past, which you have 2 days to prepare the budget. It was agreed upon, and then they rescinded the agreement and said, okay, no, we could do the budget on Wednesday, but you would have to come back on Friday. At the adjournment on Wednesday morning, I asked the speaker to grant me the courtesies of the 2 days that are usually given, the norm. It has never changed almost 50 years. And the speaker said there is nothing in the standing orders that says that I would have to come and speak first thing. There is nothing in the standing orders to say as to when. So I got up and I thanked him, and I suppose the answer that he gave, he probably met a rough patch with the powers that be. So on Friday, I did not come to the parliament on Friday because I was in preparatory mode, and I was of the understanding that I got the 2 days. Lo and behold, the speaker made, after the prime minister got up on Friday morning and say what he had to say, the speaker then went and made a judgment to say, I was expected to be in parliament on Friday and I'm not in parliament. And because of that, I would not be granted the time as the leader of the opposition should have, which is the same time as the Minister of Finance who present the budget, or 2 hours, whichever one is more. So if the Minister of Finance spoke for 3 hours, I would have had 3 hours. If he spoke for half an hour, I would get 2 hours.
Right, okay.
So
but hold on, stick a pin right there. You said you got the understanding. Who gave you the understanding? How did you come to that conclusion?
If you go back to the budget on Wednesday and you listen to what the speaker said when I asked for the courtesies, that I be given the 2 days, he was very favorable to me. Okay. So what I did, I stood up and I thanked him. So and that is where that understanding came from. Anybody who listened would see that the speaker was granting the requests that I asked.
Right.
But he changed on Friday morning, because when at the beginning of Friday morning, the prime minister stood up and say that cannot happen. He should be given all time as minister to make a presentation and not a budget. But you see, the constitution says anytime you have a budget presentation, the opposition leader must present.
Right.
So they could not have just had a statement and that's it. If the opposition leader never got the opportunity to present, then that budget should have been null and void.
Got you.
Because that is in the constitution. You see, the opposition leader's role is about the public business, not about the government and Kit Mitchell's business. So when he said that I was not going to get the time, I was determined that when I go to the parliament today, I was going to take my time. Like I told the people, the only how that I was not going to get my time, that is if they nuke me out of the parliament. So I chained myself to the desk. Because you see, what they do not want, they do not want no voice of dissent, no opposition. I'm a dictator unto myself. That is what has crept into Grenada, you know. I mean, look at 40, well, now it's 15 against 1. That is how I feel. And yet they do not want the one lonely voice in the wilderness to tell the Grenadian people the truth.
Michael Pierre, he said that you were given the exact same time as everybody else. What makes you different? What makes you special that you should get more time in terms of reviewing the budget to present?
And this is significant. The budget has about maybe 20-something votes. That is the different ministries, right?
Right.
So you have health, you have agriculture, you have tourism, you have all sectors. The particular minister will just look at his ministry. If you're the minister of tourism, you're not going into agriculture, you're not going into finance, you're not going into anything else but just your ministry. But the opposition leader now has to go through every sector. So if there are 15 ministries, I would have to dive into 15. It means therefore I would have to research every ministry because I'm the lone opposition leader there. So if I have to look at the budget in a holistic form, it means I have to go into finance, I have to go into tourism, I have to go into education, I have to go into health, I have to go into every ministry. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if each of them take an hour, then probably I should get time. I could spend an hour on each ministry too. But that is not it. When it boils down to it, I only get to spend about 5 to 7 minutes on each ministry, you know, because I had to deal with all of them. And still, the Speaker of the House robbed me 15 minutes because at the end, in the standing orders of the House of Representatives, it says that the Speaker should give all members without exception 15 minutes additional time. Today he decided he's not going to give me the additional time, but he gave everybody else. He said because I had 2 hours already. But that is not what the standing orders and the Constitution says. That I should be given 15 minutes extra as everybody else. But it is as the Speaker's discretion. So his discretion was favorable to everybody except Tobias Clement.
He also made mention of, or you made mention of the way in which the budget was given to you, printed versus electronic copy.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! They say we're going green, so we go totally green. The budget document, I believe, is 635 pages. And then we have other documents that goes along with it, which gives it about 1,400 pages. And they send all to me via email. Now tell me, can you sit down and peruse a document on the computer of that magnitude? How long can you do that for? But when I research in other countries, even in the United States, the budget document is printed. It doesn't have to be printed in vast quantity, but those who are required to peruse the document should be given a printed version so that you could underline, highlight, you could mark your pages. But on an email of a PDF file, it's one of the most difficult things that you can do. You can only spend about 20 minutes to 30 minutes at one time, focus on a computer screen. And that is what they did to me. Over 1,000 pages. And they decided not printing it. I tried to see if I get it printed in the printery. The printery got orders not to print no budget document. Whoa.
Question. As a minister, before you became the opposition leader, how was the budget presented to you to peruse? Was it electronic or was it printed? All right, so we're gonna get back to that part of the question. We're gonna follow up from there. There's still a lot we talk about. We spoke about a whole bunch of stuff. He made a lot of claim as it relates to Imani. He talked about the unemployment. He talked about a whole lot of stuff. We have a lot more to discuss there. John Crow, based on what you've heard so far, right? And also I'll let you know that we did a poll and we're still conducting an active poll. And we asked the question, do you agree with Tobias Clement at this point? We have 58% of the viewers saying yes, and 42% of the viewers at this point saying no. Janko, do you have a better understanding as to why Tobias Clement did what he did, or you're still very much confused as to why he took that route?
The argument is that there are other ways of accomplishing the same feat or the same result. Because him turning himself to the desk he's not anywhere closer, can I use that word, to a better result. I don't think. It doesn't make any. It does not make any sense.
Right.
And he could have gotten the same or better result. Like, for instance, right? Okay, I'm going to chain myself to the desk, Mr. Speaker, based on the Constitution, based on what has happened before. The precedent is set. There is a precedent in this House that says the opposition is supposed to have X amount of time, Y amount of time. Mr. Speaker, you gave me the assurance on Friday or on Wednesday that I will have the time necessary in order for me to make my presentation. Mr. Speaker, based on your words, I'm here today and you have reneged on your word. You put that out so that the people in the house is not seeing just Chen and you acting like a spoiled child. Okay, it's like the same thing like Donald Trump. Donald Trump, well, the election was rigged. We know that I won. We know that this was a stolen election. Well, bring evidence.
Right. And you know, I want to take this very cautiously because, again, I think that we have to look at it from both sides. How far should he go to be disrespected? And after he did this, right, John Crow? After he did this, a little while after, we saw press media houses in Barbados picked it up. Media houses all over. I see something as far as Antigua picked it up. So I think going in, what he really wanted to do is bring attention to this. I mean, and you got to go hard or go home. And he decided that he was going to go hard because I was listening to Ellen Bob's program Sunday, and he said, "All you better wait for tomorrow. All you wait for tomorrow. All you will see tomorrow." So in my head, I'm thinking, I wonder what Tobias is going to do. Not knowing that he had all of this stuff planned out, but he made a big impact. Right. And that's what people are talking about right now. But John Crow, I don't want you to say much at this point. We got to take a quick break and we come back. And we also got to play a huge, guys, you won't believe what Tobias said in the second part of the interview. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. You're watching Ride Along Live.
Are you thinking of a Grenadian Christmas but unable to travel? Well, we've got the next best thing to being home for Christmas with the My Grenada box, specially packaged with lots of Grenadian goodies to help remind you of the taste of home. Having a My Grenada box is easy as 1, 2, 3. Visit our website at mygrenadabox.com. Click to make your purchase and voila! In just a few days, it's at your doorstep. My Grenada Box, a taste of Grenadian goodness.
I spend my life away, but this is where I wanna be. My little piece of the ocean is all I need. If it was up to me, I'll never leave.
Check out the My Grenada box, guys, available at www.mygrenadabox.com. Also, check out the Wagiti Megaforce promotion virtual bingo, $25,000. It's Super Sunday. Also, guys, we having a virtual holiday party, and we want to invite you guys to be a part of the Ride Along virtual holiday party. We only have 50 tickets that we're going to be giving out, free tickets, so you can get your ticket right now at ridealongchristmas.eventbrite.com. That's ridealongchristmas.eventbrite.com. I want to go back into the interview that we had earlier today with Tobias Clement. Let's take it up from there. Check it out.
The first year. This is the first year because I have the printed version of the 2020, 2019. I have all the rest there printed on my, but this is the first year that they see it fit, that they say they're going total green. I mean, I say we go green until we get stupid in this country. Real stupid green. At least,
go ahead.
You should have a document, even if it's a couple copies. I mean, some of them inside up there may not say it, but they're having problems with their eyes.
Right. Let's talk about the $1.2 billion budget, right? Because we did not get
$235 billion budget.
1.235 billion, right? Exactly. What do you think about the budget itself?
Well, I would urge you, later when you get the chance, go onto YouTube and go on to Grenada Parliament, and you might see where there is one clip there that might have my time there. The budget as presented last Wednesday by the Minister of Finance is not different from the 2020 budget or 2019 or 2018 or 2017, I say it's like And this is exactly what I said in Parliament. It's like rice and peas, peas and rice, rice with peas.
Same
The
thing.
same budget, but just different time.
But why is that?
This
Why
is
is that? Why is it important that it should be a different budget in 2020, 2021?
let me tell you, the budget should reflect the time that we are in. I expected for them to have a COVID budget. Look, for instance, COVID, Grenada lockdown, all revenue stream fall. There is not a hotel that is open now in honest. I mean, there just some restaurants in the hotels are open just to keep 1 or 2 staff. So you have thousands of workers. You have people in Grenada who are losing their business. They say the hotel sector employ almost 14,000 workers. Maybe 12,000 something of them are home since March. And people are losing their business. Business are shutting down. But your budget is based on collecting the same amount of revenue from people, the same amount of taxes from businesses. Can you collect taxes from dead businesses? If you speak to some Grenadian people now, the businesses are just on the brink of collapse, you know. A lot of them send the workers at home. But my thing is, if they had made a COVID-19 budget and put aside $50 to $100 million to help these businesses to stay afloat or to bring them back on stream and think about it. They say unemployment in Grenada went from 15% to 28%. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
From 15%, that is what the Minister of Finance said, from 15% to 28%. But if I had to make a judgment, I might say from 15% to 40%. So think about the amount of our brothers and sisters that are home now, trying to make 2 ends meet, and some of them are hungry. Some of them have nothing to go by. You know the amount of people that gave up their apartment and go back and live with their parents? This is Grenada today. And then we make a budget as if it's business as usual. COVID never happened in Grenada. That's what they say. That's what it is, you know. COVID never happened in Grenada.
Yeah.
So and look at the details of the budget. You hear construction, what 4 extra 1,000 hotel rooms for next year. When is tourists going to come back to Grenada? When is Grenadians? When are Grenadians going to get the vaccine? I hear Canada is getting it in September. Well, for Grenada.
Mr. Clement, what is some of the other shocking articles, line items in the budget that you think that we need to look at? Because a lot of people didn't look at the entire budget. It's 600 pages plus 400 pages of attachment. So
attachments and so forth. Yes, and what it is, let me tell you, and it's something that I because the time there is a lot of things to service Grenada debt in 2021. The amount that was set aside in budgetary allocation to service Grenada debt is $361 million. That is $1 million a day. Mm-hmm. Can we collect this revenue in Grenada to pay debt at this time? I mean, Grenada debt now might be what? $2-3 billion in debt. What do we have to show for it? What do we have to show for it? And now we have to pay back $1 million a day. $1 million a day.
How much of this debt is, because in a debt you have the principal and you have the interest. How much of this debt goes towards the principal and how much of this debt goes to the
interest payment on the debt? According to the budget that I think I studied, I could be wrong, but I think I remember $63 million interest.
Right.
$63 million interest.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a hefty number. What about the airport?
It's a very hefty thing, and yet we're not seeing where that money is going to come from. No, and this is why I said they behave as if everything is normal, but business is not normal as it was in Grenada.
Yeah. Let's talk about the airport
Another
expansion.
thing that I point out, because
Go
since
ahead.
you stated it,
Mhm.
you look at the allocation for agriculture, capital expenditure for agriculture, in under the vote for agriculture is $610,000.
Mhm.
You heard that?
Wow.
And they tell me the allocation for agriculture is all over the place. But if you're budgeting, put the money where it's supposed to go.
Right. Right.
Don't you think so?
Yeah, yeah, of course. So the allocation for agriculture you think was way too low, and
Oh my goodness.
the
Oh,
allocation for tourism and hotel and other tourism product is way too high. How do you how did they justify that?
well, and this is what the question that I asked. They spend so much money into the hotel industry and talking about development of, but I said, if now is the time when we have to boost Grenada economy. If we have to take a loan to develop Grenada, our infrastructure are in shambles. I mean, look at the condition of Grenada roads today. When was the last time we did any major serious road development? Was in 2008 for the World Cup cricket, 2007 for World Cup cricket. After that is just piecemeal, patchy here, patchy there. But we have not undertaken any serious construction of the eastern main road, of the western main road, of the central main road. We have not. And this is the time when people are out of work. You put them back to work in the infrastructural development. You put them back to work in agriculture. You put them back to work. Something that kind of shocked me too in the budget under agriculture. They put $10,000. They say to research the possibility of decriminalization and legalization of marijuana.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about that in full extent. We want you guys a part of this discussion right now. This is Ride Along Live. We open up the phone line, 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. Exclusive interview with the opposition leader, Tobias Clement, as he talk about what happened in Parliament today. He even get much deeper as you get to speak about the Imani, hear what he says about the Imani program. But at this point in time, I want to get your guys' voices on this because we do have a poll going out and the poll is still out there. It hasn't closed as yet. And so far, we have 62% of our respondents in this particular poll say yes, they support Tobias Clement and what he did today in Parliament, and 38% say that they do not support him. So I want you guys to call and tell me why you don't support it or why you support it. 718-701-5720. Someone, one of the admin could pin that number there for me really quick. This is the number on the screen, 718-701-5720. Let me hear what you have to say on this topic right here. And what you think about his what he did. I mean, regardless of anything else, I think we all could agree that Tobias broke the whole internet today after doing this, because I said someone from Antigua sent me a clip in an online newspaper in Antigua, and they was covering it. So people got the message, and I think that's exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to do something that shake up the place, shake up the internet, and give people the message. So people got the message. Let me know what you guys think. 718-701-5720. Let me know what you think on what happened in Parliament today. 718-701-5720 before we go back into the interview with Tobias Clement. John, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Janko, what's your thoughts?
Yeah,
what's your thoughts so far? I know you're moving around. You're probably shopping. Hold on. I got a call on WhatsApp. Let me take that call on WhatsApp. Hold on 1 second, John Crow. Caller, turn your background down a bit. Hello?
Okay, can you hear me better now? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Yes, I think that opposition leader Tobias Clement is making the point that don't free my hands and leave my mind in chain. Don't tell me I'm free and you're still trying to wash my brain. All right, Junior. Have a good night.
All right, good night. Good night, caller. Yeah. 718-701-5720. John, go
I
ahead.
couldn't hear him.
Right. Now
I
he
couldn't
was
hear
just
him.
saying, the
I couldn't
statement,
hear him.
the general statement context that Tobias was trying to say. We got the next caller on the line. Hold on 1 second. Caller, you live? Where you calling us from?
Hello?
Yeah, caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling from, I'm in Queens, New York, and I'm looking at the show online. And unfortunately, I can't see, just like how Tobias mentioned, I can't see how we paying the debt back. Like, where's the money coming from? Number one. And bringing in foreigners to do the work, and I say foreigners because I've seen where they commission Chinese government to bring in to come and do the airport and stuff like that. How does the budget get dealt with and agreed upon when they have biased dealings like that? In my opinion,
Right.
it sounds so shady.
What about the government position? Or do you buy the government position that we are in a low right now? Right, we are in a point right now that COVID, a lot of people not traveling, and that's the government. That might be the government response to this. But in a few years, say like in a year or so, when everything pick up, there'll be such a heightened anticipation for people to travel that most likely that would spur economic development and a boost in the economy. And when that happens in terms of tourism, they want to be prepared. What do you think about that analogy?
Yeah, they want to be prepared, but here's what: all the companies in Grenada can't come together and say, you do half, you do this half, you do that half of it, and keep the money local. When we go and we get funding from the Chinese government, we are not able to pay that back. They're going to own half of Grenada, just like they're doing worldwide. If anybody here that's listening didn't know that, they'll find out.
Right.
The Chinese people own the countries they go to. They own a port in Jamaica that they built, and Jamaica can't pay them back. They now own that port. Anything coming into Jamaica at that port comes through them. So
Right.
It's the same thing that's going to happen in Grenada eventually. But time will tell.
All right, caller. Thank you so much. Appreciate
You're
your point of
welcome.
view.
Have a good one.
718-701-5720. We're listening to Tobias Clement's interview. John Crow, what's your take on what was just recently said?
Okay, the statements that he's making. He's the opposition. He has information that we don't have.
Right. John Crow, pull back a little bit. The camera is real close to your face. We're seeing all up inside your nose. Right.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to capture light. And I don't
Okay.
have a headphone. And I don't have a head. So now, the fact is that there's a need. I'll go back to what I said before. Yes, he's going to make a statement or statements that letting us know all the things that he's talking about right now. And like you said, he broke the internet, right? He broke the internet by taking the stand that he took.
Right.
Give us a heads up. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. I'm going to take a stand today, and I have to take this stand today because I have been duped, I have been lied to, I've been whatever the language is.
Okay.
So people would be a lot more, like the people who are saying that they agree with him, and they're saying they agree with him, I'm sure some of them, of course, from emotional support and what have you, but and I might be tempted to say, well, I agree with him for taking the stand, but I can't say that I agree with him for taking the stand based on what he did initially.
Right. I got you. I got you.
We don't have that context. We don't have that.
Well, it's good to understand the full context of it. As I said, I guess when we get the whole interview, we might have a better appreciation for that.
No,
for that. Hold on, John. Let me just take the call on the line and we'll come back. Caller, you live. Where you calling us from?
Calling from Brooklyn tonight.
Go ahead, caller. Brooklyn, go right ahead.
Yes, Grenada's situation is not one that has just developed because of COVID.
Right.
You have had professional economists telling you that DEBT debt is not a problem. Cannot be further from the truth. Because there are businesses that go bankrupt because of the debt burden. There are countries who end up in the IMF hands and in certain institutions' hands because of debt burden.
Right.
Grenada's debt today is unsustainable. Everybody knows that.
Right.
And there are economists who are just juggling figures because at the end of the day, all that is happening to Grenada is that money is going out to pay interest and to pay debt. And the younger generation, 14, 16, 18, 20, 9 years old would be one who will be suffering. And we need to address that. We need to deal with the issues rather than just the question of semantics, chain and a budget talk. It's more than that. You need to have revenue in the country. Where do you get revenue from? Well, anybody who has sense would know that tourism, you have little or no control over it.
Right.
The money is that we get in tourism are spent buying food from outside to feed the same tourists. You have people who manage your tourist industry who believe that the tourists come to get mashed potato rather than oil down. We need to wake up in Grenada and realize, look, our debt burden today, whether it's another $5 million or another $300 million we're going to borrow, is like slavery around our necks. And the people who are doing that to our country and to our people need to be taken to task. All of them, not just the Prime Minister. Every one of them is complicit. Have a nice day.
Thank you, caller. 718-701-5720. I want to go back to the interview because a lot was said. We still have quite a few portions of it. Let's go back to it and we'll come back with your reactions on Tobias Clement. Check this out.
But I reminded them that in 2014 and in 2016, I made appeals to the government of Grenada that that is the way we should have gone a long time ago, but they had lacked the vision and the intestinal fortitude. So now, today, Grenada is the only Caribbean country where cannabis is not decriminalized or legalized. As a matter of fact, the police about 3 weeks ago shot a young man because they suspected that he had a marijuana on him. When the guy fall, they shoot him and the father end up tripping off and they kill the father too. So imagine at this point in time in Grenada, they want to put $10,000 to still research to see if cannabis is okay. When that science is over a long time. Today, Grenada is last in class. And I remind them that in the United States today, the cannabis industry is an $89 billion industry. And I ask the question, the FDA approved certain derivative from cannabis to be used for drugs. If you leave the United States today and you come to Grenada with your cannabis derivative from drugs or drugs derived from cannabis, will the Grenada government lock you up? Man, we are so far behind. It doesn't even make sense because what I look at, and I'm going to say, is a whole set of geriatrics in government.
Wow.
Time for them to go.
Wow.
All ideas, they retire, they're getting NIS pension, they're getting government pension, and when they retire, you still recycle them and give them a contract because they cannot work under Public Service Commission anymore. So they come in, you're in your 70s and going to your 80s, and you still want to work, and you have young people from university home sit down and can't find nothing to do.
Wow.
That is the Grenada that I spoke about in Parliament today.
Let's talk about Imani and the allocation for the Imani. Does the Imani, in your observation and the allocation, does it make sense in terms of the present structure, the present construct of it?
The Imani program, in my judgment right now, is a sad program. Very sad. No wonder why the Prime Minister now, he has become the oldest minister of youth in the world. 74 years. He's minister of youth. He take the ministry of youth. Because what happened, he had a series of meetings with the young people. And the young people were very, very dissatisfied with how they are treated in this year Grenada. Imagine they take you up on the money program. Well, yes, they help you to some extent. They even help you to get educated. In some cases, you get educated, you go to university, you get your degree. Even after you get your degree, you're still under the money program, getting $700 and $800 a month. I mean, come on, and you're there for what, 5 years, 7 years, and you cannot get out. I mean, if you're an Imani young person and you go to any institution, they're not even recognizing you. But I mean, young people now are looking at social media and they're looking at people development, and it's as if you design the program for them to stay Imani all their lives. Who the heck want to stay as an Imani all their lives? No transition, no development. They've seen people, Grenada is almost like the kingdom of heaven, you know. The very few chosen will get in.
Tell us how you ended the presentation, because we didn't get to see that. And I'm sure that you had to unchain yourself. Did you think that going through the optics of it and with the chain and making the chain the most popular chain, as you said, do you think that it
let me tell you, the effect, I came to the parliament thinking that I would not have been given my 2 hours as designated by the standing orders of the parliament. So I was thinking that the only how that they can get me out of parliament today is, like I said, to nuke me out. They would have to move the desk of parliament to get me out, because I chained myself to the desk. And what has happened now, the whole Caribbean media picked it up. Yeah. So it is in Barbados and it is in Trinidad. If I did not do that, you may not have been talking to me today. I mean, just if they had leave me alone and asked and give me the courtesies that was granted to all opposition leaders, maybe nobody would have known that there was a budget debate in Grenada. But no, let 2 days is customary. We're gonna give him 1 day. He accustomed getting the document, or opposition leader accustomed getting a hard copy of the document, or we'll send it to him electronically. And he have 1 day to prepare.
Yeah. So the question is, did you do it for the optics? Was it done for the optics, for the look, for the attention, for that media hype?
No, I did it because, you see, somebody must take a stand. And I knew they were planning for me, and they did not want me to. This morning when I went into parliament, I was planning to present first. When I stood, the Speaker of the House did not recognize me. He said, sit. And when I sit, another lady stand. And he said to me that he recognized the other lady and gave her the time to speak, and did not give me the time to speak. But I came to the house with the lock and chain, because I was really thinking that let the sergeant at arms throw me out of parliament. And I was determined to stay in parliament and deliver my budget contribution, which is 2 hours, come hell or high water.
Yeah. So you were satisfied with, you were given your time. You were not taken out there.
The question that I asked, even during my presentation, I was thinking, well, when the 1 hour come, he would tell me to stop, and I wasn't going to go anywhere. But I continued the presentation, and he did not bother with me, so I was okay with that.
Okay. And do you
but
think
he was the one that threatened on Friday that when I came, I would not be given the time as the opposition leader should get. I would be given 1 hour as every other minister. That said that, I didn't say that. But right. I came in there with the intention. I mean, if I did not come with the chain and I tried to continue and they kicked me out, then the sergeant at arms would just hold me and throw me out of parliament. But if I am chained to the parliament, how are you going to do that? Cut off my arms?
Wow. You were determined, sir. You were determined.
And that is determination. But you see, they were not expecting that today. So that is why, because it would have created a whole scene.
Right.
So imagine you trying to throw out a man that is chained to Parliament. You wouldn't do it. So I guess that is how I was able to get my time. But if I had come there like a free man without the chains and the lock, I would not have gotten 2 hours.
Yeah. Some people said on the post that it make Parliament look like Mickey Mouse.
Well, is real Mickey Mouse not going inside there? Because if the Speaker of the House and the Prime Minister control Parliament and they could throw out all the standing orders, then Parliament is a Mickey Mouse, don't you think? If you could change the rules and say the opposition leader don't get to present, and he only could present for 1 hour, who started it? And like I told them, Junior, in America we say it and we say it loud and clear. We don't start wars, but we finish it.
Wow. One of your favorite lines today, in order to get me out of here, they go have to nuke me.
Yeah, that's right. They would have to nuke me. In order to get me out, they would have to nuke me. That's what I told them. In order for you to get me out, you have to nuke me.
Tobias, we're going to keep following the budget debates, and we want you back because we want to get that opposition perspective on the budget going forward. And we're going to continue following, because I know tonight into tomorrow possibly you have to present again, and I know there's still a lot more to be said.
No, I don't have to present anymore. That was my only time.
Okay. Oh, that was your only time. So tonight, what's happening later on today?
Well, the Prime Minister will get equal time, which is 2 hours, and then the Minister of Finance will get any amount of time that he needs to close. So he could counteract everything that I say.
Okay. Well, we're going to be watching.
I cannot rebut. I only have one opportunity, and that's it. That is according to the standing order.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to keep paying attention. And I appreciate that you taking the time to chat with us to kind of give us an understanding as to why you made those decisions here today. So thank you, Clement. You always make time for us. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, and God bless you. And again, to my brothers and sisters in the United States, Canada, and wherever and whosoever is following you, I would continue to urge you guys and to urge us here in Grenada, Carrickmont, Martinique, to keep safe and follow the protocols of safety. Thank you. God bless you.
Thanks again.
You're welcome.
Guys, we're speaking there with the opposition leader, Tobias Clement. Yeah, so that was the interview that we had with Tobias Clement earlier on why he decided to chain himself to the Parliament desk. For those of you who just tuned in, just watching it, I want to play back and then we'll go to John Cran and we can take your calls as well. I want to play back what the Mr. Chairman, Michael Pierre, who is my former principal, what he said after Mr. Clement started to chain himself to the desk. This was his response. Again, if I could pull that clip, this was the response.
I understand a lot of drama and grandstanding. I used to do this myself. I don't know why you came so prepared.
Well, I must...
You see, you were given the opportunity to do that is your privilege as the leader of the opposition. You complained that you had 2 days to do your preparation, which is not true. You had the same time as every other parliamentarian had, receiving the documents on the 25th of November, posted from the Parliament at 9:40 a.m. So I don't understand the drama and the chain. This Parliament is not a slave pen. The Parliament is a place of freedom. And you stand to speak, you stand to debate the budget, and I think the world, as you said, is watching. But the world don't want to see a comedian or something like that in the Parliament of this country. The Parliament is bigger than that. So if you wish to chain yourself to the parliament table so that the world can see what the leader of the opposition demeanor is, proceed.
Yeah, that was Michael Peer. Believe it or not, whenever I hear Michael Peer speak, it shakes me to the core. That was my former principal at the St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School, SAS. I could never forget those voice when he spoke to us. John Crow, now we saw the whole interview. We got all different perspective. Does that change your perception on the decision to chain himself to the parliament?
No,
right.
I'm not 100% behind him. I have a better understanding as to why he did it. I don't agree with the tactic, but in the theater we say you have an objective and you work towards that objective,
right,
in order to get to where you want to go. And so he had an objective, he knew what he wanted, and he worked his elements to accomplish his objective. I'm not going to knock him for that, but I still go with the statement that he could have gotten there in spite of, and because, like the guy said, it's not a slave pen, and it's not a place. It's a place of freedom. Now, if that statement is to hold, Mr. Speaker is contradicting himself, because if it's a place of freedom and you're not giving the opposition, the one opposition leader you have, or person you have in that position, you're not giving them that opportunity to be free to express what it is that they need to express. He cannot be given, and I agree with him, and in terms of the issues, he cannot be given an hour to debunk or to counter a presentation that is 500, whatever number, 100 pages long, right? And so, again, I understand a little bit more why he did what he did, but give us a heads up. Those of us who are not there, those of us who are not aware of the rules of the game, right? Okay, it's two people in a boxing ring. All right, there's a guy with a handicap. So you allow the guy with the handicap to swing anyhow he wants to.
Right.
But the other guy has to follow the rules of boxing.
Right.
Right? But because the guy with the handicap he has a handicap, so you're allowing him certain leeway that the other boxer does not have.
I don't know in this case. I don't understand in that analogy who is the handicap and who is the boxer. But hold on.
Clements is doing what he's doing. We are in the docks. We are in the dock. We are in the dock. We don't know why he's doing what he's doing.
Okay. Well, I guess he can get a chance to explain, which he did, and he's doing another medium, I'm sure.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second, Jack. Let's just take this call real quick.
Before you go to the call.
Yeah. Hold on. Caller, hold on 1 second. John, go ahead, and then we're gonna go.
I'm saying everybody does not watch the program, right? So they would not get to see his explanation. What they get to see is him being defiant and pulling the chain action.
Right. Okay. I got you.
All right.
Point taken. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from? What's your point? What's your input on the program?
Hi. Yeah, I'm calling from Maryland.
Go right ahead.
I remember when I was younger, I remember the current speaker put himself on hunger strike, and he was in hospital. He was in the papers, I remember. He was on hunger strike, I think 6 or something days, if I remember. And he made a point because he was facing extradition to the US. And he decided he was not going to go. So he's going to die in the process. So I'm not sure how people not missing the point. Sometimes you have to do things to make points.
Yeah. You got to take drastic measures.
And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, caller. Thank you. I appreciate your input. 718-701-5720. That's the number here. Let me know what you think. I know you guys are speaking as well in our poll. And right now we have the polls are saying 69% of everyone who responded to the poll. That's over 100 of you who voted say that you agree with Tobias Clement versus 31%. That's equivalent of about 47 of you guys who voted that you do not agree with Tobias Clement. here's what I agree with, right? Here's what I can't disagree about. Whenever you had to make a statement, you have to go bold. All right. 'Cause I remember personally, we get a lot of flack here on Ridealong. We get a lot of flack on Ridealong. And we did. I remember the very first time we did something that was a lot of people consider to be, media house don't do that, or Caribbean media don't do certain things, or we don't talk about certain things. I remember the first time we had a transgender, and that's side swiping in terms of the full conversation, but it bring it right back to where my point. So we brought somebody who is a transgender. Nobody don't bring that type of topic on the program, so it was such a shocker. People were so arrogant, and people started to curse at us. People deleted themselves from our page because they thought that we're not supposed to talk about things that they don't agree with. But it was such a shocker. He made such a big point, right? And that's what I think. If you had to make a big point, you had to do big things. If you just stay in the shade and you just swim downstream, you don't get your point through. So Clement decided to swim upstream. The brother took not none of dog paddles, The brother took some solid swipe upstream, and he made his point. We're talking about it. Other media houses are talking about it. Media houses as far as Antigua and Trinidad and Barbados are talking about it, and that is the effect that he wanted. That's exactly what he wanted. That's exactly what he got, and it's a bigger story. The chain could represent that oppression. He wanted to bring out that people are, it's like a mental slavery. It's bigger than just holding a chain and checking a chain and putting your hands in a chain. I think Clement was strategic in putting these chains together. He wanted to give a broader story, a broader concept to his presentation. And I don't fault him. I don't fault the brother. I think that he did what he's supposed to do, and he gave he did his damn thing. Crow?
Right now, I'm not. When I get home, I'm going to show my son. And my son is very political in terms of these issues, and I'm going to find out from him when I show it to him. I'm going to get his reaction, and because he's very Grenadian oriented, even though he was born here, but he's very, very much into Grenada and Grenada politics, and interested in what we do there. So
well, we'll hear what you got to say, but for now, and we're going to close the poll right now. 70% of all respondents to our poll is saying that they support Tobias Clement, and they agree with Tobias Clement, and they have no problem with what Tobias Clement said or did today. All right? And he made his point heard. Crow, we got to wrap up. Yeah.
Just for the record, I'm not. I have no opposition to any of the statements that he made. I want to be very clear about that. I am not. There's nothing that he said that I could dispute or could put up a counter argument for. Like he talked about the roads in Grenada. I'm trying to figure out why are we still having fall edges up and down the island that are threatening to people's lives with these fall edges, and it's like the government is waiting for another stone to come down from the hill to kill another 40 people or whatever number of people that was killed on the bus, because there seems to be nothing being done to address that issue. All right.
Right.
And like in terms of what plan do they have as it relates to coming back and coming out of this COVID situation that we're in? How do we recover this economy that is right now in shambles? They have not given us anything solid that says, here is what we're doing in terms of making things happen for you.
And that's what he said. That's what he said, that the budget was just like a regular budget. And he think that the budget should reflect the time that we're living in. And if we're in a COVID time, the budget shouldn't look like last year's budget, because last year was different. And if the allocation was for tourism, right now, hotels are closing. That shouldn't be the focus. The focus, and it's so little on agriculture, and And that is shocking and alarming, because I'm thinking that they would have major allocation for agriculture. I haven't looked at the full budget. I don't know what amount was put aside or projected for agriculture. But I would think that would be the focus on looking at agriculture, not tourism. But we're gonna comb through it. I think TGM is having a budget a debate or review of the budget on Wednesday. I think we're going to carry it here and Ride Along as well. Get a full perspective view on it. It's about that time we got to wrap up. But John Crow, thanks for your input. We appreciate you. I know it was short notice, as always. That's why John Crow is moving around, because he wasn't given notice. I just called him and said, John Crow, I want your view on this. So that's why he's shopping around. So it's not his fault. It's actually my fault. I called him late. But John Crow, you're there for us, and we appreciate that.
I mean, it's not any which way that I could make it happen, I will make it happen. I mean, I had to decide, you know, in terms of, but the real reason why I'm on the road, I just want to let folks know, is that I'm up in Nyack, up by the Tappan Zee Bridge. I just came up here. There's a friend of mine who has, well, she just found out that I'm doing this collection of items. I just came out and picked up a couple of walkers and about 2 wheelchairs that I'm, you know, taking, you know, adding to the number of items that I'm shipping to Grenada.
Right.
Again, I will take the opportunity and beg people, go on the GoFundMe page, GoFundMe.com, charity drive Grenada seniors, and make a charitable donation to help us ship this container to Grenada. That is why I'm not normally where I would be sitting at my desk. So I'm begging. I'm out here begging.
Well, that's what we do. That's what we do best. That's what we do best. We come on TV and we beg. Janko, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We'll keep in touch. All right. Thanks again, guys. Listen, I want you guys to continue to chime in on this. I'm sure Tobias would be on other platforms talking about this. He's probably going to be back here on Ride Along as well. We're going to continue to look at the budget and try to go through it and have someone that could really explain all the different line items on the budget to us here on Ride Along. And that will come sometime this week. I want you guys to stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching. Thank you again for sharing. Doug, my Vinci friend, how you doing? My fishing partner. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Guys, I want to tell you guys about this. If you have a business and you want to advertise on Ride Along Live, now is the best time. We have affordable rates, of course. If you just starting a business and you want to understand how to market your business on this platform, give us a call. We'll take care of you. All right. So if you want to advertise on Ride Along Live, you want to give us a call. Our number for advertising is boom right here, 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. Advertise on Ride Along Live. It don't cost a dime. It pays to advertise. So if you have a micro business, a small business, any kind of business, a big business, whatever it is, this is the number. Call 718-701-5720. All right, guys, we got to big up the people who put their money where their mouth is and advertise to ensure that we could do this program here on a daily basis. We got to big up mygrenadabox.com. Yeah, taste of home for Christmas, delivered right to your doorstep. Pure Grenada goodness. Order now at www.mygrenadabox.com. That's mygrenadabox.com. Go right ahead right now, guys, and order on mygrenadabox.com. So if you are away from Grenada and you're not going to make it to Grenada, but you still want all the nice spices, and you see how much thing are there? So many stuff in these boxes. The chocolate, the jam. My mouth watering already. I say my mouth watering already. You got to get the My Grenada box. So order online right now at mygrenadabox.com. Or you could call or WhatsApp at 473. You could call, not WhatsApp, call 473-442-9526. That's 442-9526. That's the My Grenada box.
Everything after 100. Everything after 100.
Also, we got a big up Mega Force promotion, the Super Sunday Waggity Virtual Bingo. Yeah, that's Waggity Virtual Bingo. US $25,000. You can win $25,000. $25,000. US dollars, you know. The ticket's only $20. Tickets available at GoToFet. You got to check that out. Yeah, you got to check that out. Mega Force promotion, Waggity Virtual Bingo. And that goes down on Sunday, December 20th. All right, get your tickets. Win up to $25,000. Hey guys, listen. Are you a top fan, a supporter, a viewer, a sharer? Are you on Ride Along Live and you like our vibe? Listen, we're having our virtual holiday party, end of year virtual holiday party. Yeah, man. So we have music, we have top DJs, we have comedians, we even have raffles and we have games. It's going to be a fun experience there. Live performance and everything. It would not be televised. It would not be televised. Let's say it again. It would not be televised. It's a private Zoom party event. So you won't be able to see it on Ride Along Live. But so you need to get your tickets, all right? You need to get your tickets, and you get your tickets right now at ridealongchristmas.eventbrite.com. That's ridealongchristmas.eventbrite.com. Tickets are free. And we're going to have over $500 in gift and prizes, all right? And that's for all the top fans, all the supporters, all the viewers, all the sharers. Join up right now. Get your tickets. This is going to be on Saturday, December 12th. Saturday, December 12th. Only 50 tickets are available. Only 50 tickets. So you got to get it right now. Ride Along Christmas at eventbrite.com. Also, guys, if you need a video production for any service, anything, a wedding, live streaming, a funeral, virtual event, and a whole lot more, you got to give us a call. The Ride Along video production, Ride Along family video production, professional video production and streaming. Call right now at 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. Professional video production and more. Ride Along family.
Yo, just show me some strength. No weakness, show me a lion dog. Strength, no weakness, show them who we are. Strength, no weakness, show me a lion dog. Everybody strength, no weakness, show them who we are.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited. You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
Are you thinking of a Grenadian Christmas but unable to travel? Well, we've got the next best thing to being home for Christmas with the My Grenada box. Specially packaged with lots of Grenadian goodies to help remind you of the taste of home. Having a My Grenada box is easy as 1, 2, 3. Visit our website at mygrenadabox.com. Click to make your purchase and voila! In just a few days, it's at your doorstep. My Grenada box, a taste of Grenadian goodness.
But this is where I wanna be. My little piece of the ocean is all I need. If it was up to me, I'll never leave.
You're constantly thinking of food, but sometimes you just don't want to cook or want something a little different. That's when you call Tasties, preparing meals that you really love. Tasties, our mouth-watering food, would have you coming back every day. But hold on, we only prepare meals Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for now. Call early because we have a lot to serve and we would love to serve you. Tasties, we prepare the meals you love to eat. From macaroni pie to baked chicken, provision dumpling and saltfish, stewed chicken, curry chicken, baked chicken, rice and peas, salads, and more. Please call for daily menu. Call 425-0624 or 403-0411. You can pick up your meals from us or we deliver to you. Tasties, food that's delicious.
This is Ridealong Live, where everyone has a story to tell.